If you're in the middle of a PCS right now, or you know one is coming, this series is for you. Because PCS isn't just about boxes and checklists. It's about the waiting, the unknowns, the goodbyes, and starting over in a place that doesn't feel like home yet. I'm moving into my 9th home in the last decade, and what I've learned is this: PCS isn't just a move, it's a life transition. So let's walk through it together. Hi friend, if you're listening to this, it means I'm in the middle of my own PCS. So this summer, we're walking through the PCS Survival Series together. If you're listening to this episode and you've been following along, there's a good chance that you've made it through the move. Maybe your house is still full of boxes, or maybe things are mostly unpacked, but nothing quite feels normal yet. This is the part where you're figuring out where everything is, getting kids registered for school, trying to settle in. And then comes all of the forms that you start filling out at the doctor's office, the dentist, the school, somewhere on base, and the question that every military spouse laughs at. What's your emergency contact? Because who do you even put down? This is something that I have experienced more times than I would like to admit. And there have been times where we just put one of my husband's coworkers on the form because we just needed somebody local. Welcome to More Than a Mil Spouse, the podcast for military spouses who want to live with more meaning and less overwhelm. I'm your host, Christine, seasoned military spouse, mom of 3, life coach, and your guide to intentionally designing a life you're excited about as a military spouse. I'm here to help you get the clarity you need so you can get unstuck and unlock your purpose and potential. Because you, my friend, are more than a mil spouse. You have something valuable to offer. And when you pursue the things that light your heart on fire, you trade frustration for fulfillment and isolation for a life of impact. It's time to discover who you are meant to be, because together we can change the world. Last week I said we're picking back up where we left off. You've received your household goods. The house is all in boxes and you're starting over. And the more that I thought about this time, this season, the feeling of starting over in a new place, the more that I felt like we need to start here with this feeling of not knowing anyone, starting over in a new place and feeling like you don't yet belong. You're already here, but it doesn't feel like your place yet. You don't know where anything is. You don't have routines. You don't have a go-to person. Everything feels like it's taking more effort than it should. You have decision fatigue because you're trying to figure out so many things at the same time. And as you are unpacking the boxes and taking care of things, it looks like, or it can look like, you're starting to get settled. But on the inside, everything still feels unfamiliar. You're not settled. You're not connected. You're not fully at home yet. You're starting over in a sense, but this doesn't feel like your life yet. Everything is still unfamiliar, unsettled, and unconnected. You don't have your people yet, which means you don't have a safe place. You don't have the support systems. You don't have the relationships that make a place feel like home. And that can feel a little more vulnerable than we expect. I think about the time that we moved to Hawaii. We get into our house, we're in a brand new place, we know no one, and we don't know where anything is. And that day, everyone in the family except for me comes down with hand, foot, and mouth disease. So I am scrambling to figure out how do I take care of my whole family in this brand new place where we are living with temporary furniture. We are living with the basics of what's in our suitcase, and I need to go out and find some pain medicine for everybody in the family. And I'm trying to plug into my GPS. How do I get to the commissary? Where's the BX? I don't know where anything is. I don't know who to call, because we are brand new to this location and we're starting it off with sickness. So that is this feeling of not having your people, not having your community, being alone in a new place and needing some support. I had a neighbor when we moved to Guam in 2020. They had just moved into the house next door. They were still in quarantine. They have not had the opportunity to go meet any of their neighbors, and her youngest son gets badly injured. They end up having to call an ambulance and have him taken to the ER. I know a lot of things can happen, especially when you're new, and there is a time where you don't necessarily have the community and the support you need. So today I really want to dig into this feeling of being in a brand new place and trying to find your way in a place where you don't have those support systems built yet. And to be honest, I think this is what scares a lot of people from moving, from trying anything new, from going somewhere outside your comfort zone, because it's easy to create a comfort zone over time, to have those support structures, to have those friends, those relationships, those people that you can count on to be there when something happens. When you start over in a new place, you've got to rebuild all of that. You don't just lose the people that you love when you move. You lose the version of life that feels easier. You know where the grocery store is and where to go if you need to go to urgent care, and what to do and who to call. All of that takes effort to build into your life. So when you're in that place of recognizing that you don't have that support, that community, that connection, what do you do? Because it's a very real feeling. The first thing that I have found to be helpful is to know that connection doesn't always happen quickly. It doesn't always happen overnight. And as much as we would like it to, it doesn't always happen right away. And so to be okay with, you may meet a lot of people and they may not be your people, and that's okay. Just keep going, because eventually you will find your people and your support network. I would love to shortcut this process, but the reality of it is it just takes time to get settled into a new place and to find those people. The second thing that I would say that I've learned along the way is that our nervous system matters. When you go through a big move, that disrupts your nervous system. And when we are in a place where we are seeing a lot of things that feel unfamiliar, our brain is hardwired to crave certainty, to crave what feels easy, comfortable, and familiar. Moving is none of those things. And so it takes more effort sometimes to put yourself out there in an unfamiliar setting, to meet people you don't know, to try to build relationships when your nervous system is already taxed. So number one, being aware of that. And number two, do things that help your nervous system and remind your body that you are safe, that this is going to become a place that feels comfortable and familiar. So when it feels extra hard after you move, that's actually completely normal. That's just your brain trying to protect you. The third piece of this is to be proactive. For some of us, this comes super easily. We cannot wait to go meet people. For others, that is a little more uncomfortable. We're tired of trying to have small talk and get to know people. We just want to have our people. If that is you, that is completely valid, which is why I put together a free guide to help you through the awkward process of getting to know people in a new place. It's called the Milspouse Connection Toolkit. You can download it by clicking the link in the show notes or by going to milspousemastermind.com/connection. That's simply a practical guide to help you navigate interactions, build real, meaningful connections over time, and start conversations without overthinking, because building community doesn't happen overnight. And also, I want to make this process feel a little bit easier for you. I took the best of all of the resources out there about starting conversations, creating connections, and put it all together in a helpful packet for you. Because I know for some of us, this process isn't our favorite, but connection happens when we are proactive. So I want to help you do that. The fourth thing that I've really come to learn is that it is so important to be honest and notice the feelings that you're having, especially when you move. There are so many different things to focus on, to do. It's very easy to stay busy, to keep doing the next task, to unpack the next box, to get the kids registered for that next thing, and not take time to observe what you're feeling and to be honest about it. It's not about just sitting in the hard and stewing in it, but it's about accepting what is so that you can move forward with what's next. It is easy to become disconnected from yourself in this process, but the more that we can observe those feelings and process them, the easier it is to be present and to make those connections with others in our new place. And I think last but not least, the thing that I've learned over time is to not give up. This is something that I've had to work on in myself. This is something I've had to encourage my kids with. But it's the idea of, hey, this is temporary. If I don't find my people, I'll just wait until the next duty station. When in reality, like, if we keep trying, if we keep putting ourselves out there, if we keep reaching for community and connection, it will happen. We will be able to build it, whether we are there long term or not. Sometimes when we're tired of doing that over and over again, it's easy to check out. But my encouragement to you and to myself is to keep trying and not give up. It will come. It just takes time. In as many moves as we have done in the last decade, I have learned to just give myself 6 months to get settled into a new place and begin building those relationships. So here's what I wish someone would have told me about settling in and finding your community and that emergency contact. Number one, if you feel alone, you're not behind. It's normal to not have your people right away, and deep connection takes time to build. Number two, it's okay if it feels a little awkward. It's not always the most fun or smooth thing to start over. Sometimes your first emergency contact isn't your best friend, and that's okay. I will also link in the show notes an episode I did last year with Megan Brown about building connection and community as a military spouse, and she has a system that she uses when she is meeting people to see, hey, is this something that we could build a deep friendship on? All of that to say, it's okay if it feels a little awkward at first, but number three, small steps count. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be something. It could look like introducing yourself, going to an event, even if you don't know anyone, texting someone you just met to see if they would love to get together or go grab coffee. That is how things start. It is easier to meet people and build connections when you have kids because there are people that you can meet at the kids' bus stop or sitting on the sidelines at sports field or having play dates when they're little. Take advantage of whatever it is that you're interested in. If you're interested in books, see if there's a book club you can join. Do something, find a way to connect with other people. It doesn't have to be big, and small steps count. That is how we begin finding our people in a new place. And as I mentioned, if you are looking for some support with that, I have created the MilSpouse Connection Toolkit. It's just a few simple ways to help you start building connection where you are. If you are in the space where it doesn't feel like home yet, I see you, and I know that this part of PCSing can feel a little disorienting. This part takes time, connection takes time, and in all honesty, I'm walking through it right now the same as you, and probably listening to this episode to remind myself that it does get better. It just takes time. If you are moving this summer and looking for community, I would love for you to come join us inside the More Than a MilSpouse community on Facebook. Pop in there, say hello, let us know where you're at, and let's support each other on this crazy journey of military life. I will be back next week to talk about what it looks like to start putting your life back together in a new place little by little. Until then, may you live filled, fueled, and full of joy. Hey, amazing MilSpouse, before you go, I want you to know that I love hearing from you. The More Than a MilSpouse community exists to help you thrive as a military spouse. Figure out what lights your heart on fire and empower you to live with purpose and impact. You can have an incredible impact simply by heading over to iTunes to subscribe and leave a review. But your impact doesn't stop there. You can empower those around you simply by sharing an episode with a friend or neighbor, someone who needs a little encouragement in this military life. And if this episode was meaningful to you, spread the love by taking a screenshot of this episode and tagging me on Instagram so we can continue to reach more people, change more lives, and shift the way that military spouses look at life. Because we are better together. Together, we can change the world. Let's do it.